there was an article, I think from like last year, Rolling Stone, and Damon said, not to quote myself, but modern life is rubbish.
That's good.
Hi, my name's Sarah, and this is my sister Katie.
And we just want to remind everybody that
Girls like rock too. Gorillaz are having a moment.
Yes.
They just released a couple of weeks ago their 9th studio album, The Mountain. And they also announced a tour. They're coming to Toronto in October.
They were on Saturday Night Live.
Oh, they were. Yeah, with Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. So they're around, and I'm noticing I'm getting a lot of like just updates on Gorillaz in my social media feed. Katie and I are quite vocal. We're big Blur fans, big fans of Damon Albarn. And it's funny, Katie, because a couple of weeks ago you mentioned, I can't remember what band, maybe Alice in Chains. And you were like, oh, this is a band I should know better.
I think it was Alice in
Okay.
Chains.
And I was thinking that about Gorillaz because they're trending right now with their new album. I'm like, I'll be honest, that's a band I should know better because I'm such a big Damon Albarn fan.
Yeah.
So I was telling Katie I'd like to devote an episode to Gorillaz because they have such an impressive career. And really right now it's the 25th anniversary of Gorillaz because their debut album was released in the spring of 2001.
Yeah. I remember listening to Clint Eastwood on Napster.
Oh, Clint Eastwood. Yeah,
That was one of the first songs I think our brother downloaded off Napster.
Oh yeah, nice. That's fitting. I'm like, that was 25 years ago. Like the Gorillaz have been around that long. Like that's crazy. I guess apparently Damon Albarn and the other fellow Jamie Hewlett, who is the cartoonist part of Gorillaz, they don't like to get too nostalgic. But that's kind of what the Girls Like Rock 2 podcast is all about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a little bit, sorry, Damon, I'm going to get a little bit nostalgic today with the beginnings of Gorillaz. Gorillaz, it's so fascinating reading up a bit about them because they're huge, Gorillaz.
They are.
They have 42 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
And arguably their biggest song is Feel Good, which is from their second album. That is 2.2 billion streams on Spotify. Clint Eastwood has 1.1.
That's a lot.
Yeah, like crazy. Not surprising, but still, I was like, oh. Gorillaz they're fascinating when I'm thinking about them because Gorillaz came out, I was 15 when Clint Eastwood came out. You would have been about 13.
Yeah, I was in grade 8.
Okay. And I thought they were cool. I'm like, this is cool. It's a cool song. It was different.
Yeah.
But how like different they were at the time when they came out because I guess Damon and Jamie started the idea of Gorillaz in the late 90s. And I guess Clint Eastwood came out in 2001, right, with the debut album. And this was like the height of manufactured bubblegum pop.
Yes.
And some of it was good. I'm not going to say I do like some of it. I mean, I read Britney Spears' memoir. I'm not going to, but it was a lot. Like it was getting kind of like annoying.
Oh yeah.
At the
it was
time.
Oversaturation of all this bubblegum pop.
And it just felt so fake. And I feel bad saying that because a lot of these artists, they were quite young. They were just doing what they were told to do.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
With the record labels and everything. But it did feel very fake. And that was for our age group because we were teens. And even at that age, I was like, this just doesn't feel real. And I was reading about Gorillaz and I never thought of it this way, where they kind of took that with this, it's almost kind of like an artistic endeavor, Gorillaz.
Oh, it is.
More than just music. And they were like kind of a commentary on that bubblegum manufactured pop. Like we're going to make these cartoon characters that aren't real, that have their own stories and make this the band.
Yeah.
Like take things to the next level. Also, I was thinking about this time, this was big with like that new metal,
Oh yeah.
like Limp Bizkit and all of that. And I wasn't into that. I'll be honest. I was sitting there listening to my Blur and Oasis. I wasn't into new metal.
Sarah
at
was
all.
not a Limp Bizkit fan.
No, I just couldn't get into it. But they did play around with different elements of music, like the rap and the rock kind of together, and I guess like the teen angst, right?
Yeah,
and that
they really
spoke
fed
to a
into
lot of
that.
people.
Yeah.
But I found Gorillaz were kind of like, okay, we're going to play around with mixing different genres, but do it for the indie kids.
Yep.
Right? Because we liked Gorillaz. I thought Clint Eastwood. I was like, it was like rock, pop, and rap all together.
Yeah.
And it just worked so well.
Yeah.
And it was, the animated characters for music, were the Gorillaz the first one to do this? I don't think so. There were probably other bands around the world that were doing this. And I do have to give a shout out to
Prozac.
If you're Canadian, you're like, yeah, Prozac.
They were so good though.
Well, they were two animated characters
Yep.
with their own backgrounds. Like they
Yep.
would talk to each other. And I think,
Simon and
yeah, you're right. Simon, I can't remember who the other person was, but you never saw the actual humans that were making
the
this
guy
music.
from the Philosopher King.
Yeah, it was the two guys,
Yeah.
and they decided to do that.
Another
And-
Canadian shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Prozac, they were good. They were
and
dancey pop.
yeah, they
had
came up
some
on my
hits.
YouTube just a few days ago, and I
Oh,
forgot
nice.
about them. And even as an adult, Sarah, I'm like, these are good songs.
Yeah, sucks to be you.
Yep.
So they were an animated character. So I think there were other, maybe, as I mentioned, artistic endeavors doing this. But the Gorillaz, sorry, I always want to say the Gorillaz, but it's Gorillaz.
Okay.
Gorillaz, they made it mainstream.
Yeah.
Like they got this into the charts.
Yeah.
So it was like the cool indie kids were listening to it, but also it just became like this kind of huge phenomena, Gorillaz. Like they were just so big. And I was watching this. Do you know the Needle Drop, Anthony Fantano? He's like a music guy on YouTube. He has like 2 million followers. He's good. He had Damon on his YouTube channel maybe like a week ago.
Okay.
And of course, Damon's talking about the new album.
Yeah.
And I really liked what he said. He said, the new album, it's whatever you want it to be. And I really liked that. And it was just, I got me thinking of today's episode and thinking of Gorillaz and Damon Albarn. And I'm like, it's kind of like when Gorillaz came out, this is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like it really was for the listener.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool that he said that for the new record, but also I was like, you could kind of take that for all of Gorillaz and its history. It's what you want it to be. Is it music? Is it art? A bit of both? All these different genres coming together.
The different genres are really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. And at the time, because remember, we're going back to the early 2000s, like kind of new for that time.
Oh yeah.
And it influenced a lot of later bands playing with different music. Different genres and instruments and having like collaborators. Bringing that into it as well. And I think of Damon with Gorillaz because Gorillaz came about after Blur were huge and very well established. And I just found Gorillaz for Damon, of course I can't speak for the man, but kind of experimenting with his musical identity a bit. And he would have been like in his early 30s with Gorillaz. And so that's a time when you're kind of also thinking of your identity as a human.
Yeah.
So he's kind of thinking of his art and his music and all of that together with Gorillaz, still working with Blur, but making this just so kind of like, what am I beyond the frontmen of Blur? And taking that and then just like, because Damon Albarn, I mean, that's a huge name. So like to hide behind, not hide, but like to be behind like a cartoon character, like that was a bold move.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just thinking about it now, I'm like, it's just so crazy because kind of like virtual the virtual identity of Gorillaz before social media.
Yeah, that's cool too.
It is.
Yeah.
And even like AI, because Jamie and Damon, as I mentioned, they're not big on nostalgia. They're like, we're always looking forward. And I'm like, you kind of were, because this came out when the internet became, like you mentioned, Napster. Streaming. So kind of thinking of all that and thinking, what will it become? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so fascinating how kind of ahead they were with all of that. Now that, I mean, looking back, hindsight's 2020, of course, but it was just, I don't know, it was just really bold, I think, of Damon to do all of that. I was reading like this article about Gorillaz, and it said something about like style over substance, and it just got me thinking of Gorillaz and like the commentary, kind of like taking that bubblegum cheesy pop and using it in their own way. And like the style, it's really important for any band, let's be honest, right? How you look, how you present yourself. That's a big part of it. And it is with Gorillaz. And it's a big, significant part of it. But they have the music to back it up too. So there's kind of that as well. Like, yes, we put a lot of thought into how it looks, how it's presented. But the music is there. Like, you can't deny. It is like there's substance to the music, which is interesting because it's like these cartoon characters, but the music is, it's genuine. Yeah. Like there's an authentic vibe to it. Yeah. Right. And I guess that's obviously why it took off. Yeah. Because the debut album, it was released March 26, 2001 in the UK. It was released a bit later, June 19th, 2001 in the States. I would imagine we had the American version of it. But it was a major commercial success. Like, it went on to sell 7 million copies.
That's pretty good.
Worldwide. Yeah. And it went certified platinum in the US and triple platinum in the UK. And we talked about the different genres. There's a list on Wikipedia about how critics have described the first album. And here's all the different genres: alternative rock, lo-fi, dub, hip hop, trip hop, art pop, punk rock, rap rock, art rock, Brit pop, Latin, and bubblegum pop.
That's a handful of genres there.
So it's just like kind of like what Damon was saying. It's how you take it. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't know. It's just kind of cool. And Clint Eastwood is like the huge single from it. And I remember when that came out, as you said, we got it off Napster. So that peaked at the charts, number 4 in the UK single charts in March 2001. So in terms of like commentary on what was already out in the music at that time, number 1 was Westlife. Remember them?
Oh, wow, Westlife,
Uptown Girl.
Yeah.
2 was It Wasn't Me by Shaggy.
Oh, I never liked that song.
Yeah, that was big, that song. And number 3, Whole Again, Atomic Kitten.
Oh, wow.
So again, it's just kind of funny that number 4 is this like totally out there song by this Damon Albarn, a musician. It only peaked at number 57 on the Billboard Top 100, Clint Eastwood. I thought it was bigger because that was a big song.
It was big in our household.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe it wasn't. Yeah. There are, I did say that before where I thought Blur were like huge, but they actually
weren't. But in our household, they were.
In our household, they were like superstars. I was reading some articles about Gorillaz, and Gorillaz at this point, they are critically acclaimed, right? Everybody, like, they're great, and they've had real, 9 albums out. But I was reading some reviews from 2001 when the debut album was out, and the reviews were not amazing. Like, no. Well, they were all listed, This Is Enemy and Pitchfork primarily, but like, they were like, it's Damon Albarn's side project.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember thinking of it as
which
that.
I guess it was. But yeah, like the one, I think it was Pitchfork that said it was a failure.
Oh, I don't think it's
like a failure. Cute, mediocre. And it's just interesting because 25 years on, it's very celebrated because it was truly groundbreaking in all the ways that we've been talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was 15 when Clint Eastwood came out, and 15-year-old kid, really into music, big fan of Blur. They were sounds of our childhood, big fan of Damon Albarn. I really liked it. I was like, I think this is really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Super cool, good song. And at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? That's what matters.
Yep.
That he was making this for his fans.
Yeah, and we liked it.
And we liked it. So that's what counts, I think. So the fans liked it. And clearly somebody liked it. It sold 7 million records.
Yeah.
And with these reviews, I got a bit defensive because I'm a big fan of Damon. And I'm like, why is everybody hating on Damon? He's one of our bays on the Girls Like Rock 2
He
podcast.
is one of our bays. Yeah.
So I was like, but then I was like, okay, calm down. This was a 25-year-old review, right? But I was like,
take it easy.
Yeah. Take it down a notch. But I was like, no, Damon Albarn.
But I think, Sarah, he proved them all wrong. 9 records later, 25 years later, you're headlining SNL as
who has the last laugh, right?
Right, yeah.
And like, that's kind of my final segment, like the legacy of Damon Albarn. I shouldn't say legacy. I mean, he's still doing a lot of music, but just looking at his history, it's just so fascinating because Damon Albarn had these 2 big bands. And when you think of Blur and you think of Gorillaz, there's like, they're different.
They
like,
are.
I can
very
see,
different.
I can see Damon equally in Blur, but also just as equally in Gorillaz.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so amazing. In the interview he did with the Needle Drop, he said, he's like, I'm a novice. And he said it in such a humbling way. I just thought that was,
he is humble.
Yeah, I just thought it was really cool for Damon Albarn to say that, and like meeting new musicians and learning about different cultures and genres. And you can like feel that in Gorillaz. Like, it was just, I don't know, just so cool. Like a real collaborator over having like a big ego. It's just funny because in this interview he does with Anthony Fantano, so Johnny Marr is in the new album.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he plays, I think, on a couple of songs, and Anthony Fantano mentions that, of course. It's Johnny Marr, right?
Yeah.
And Damon is just like kind of gushing over Johnny Marr and the Smiths, right? Because he's like, oh, when I was growing up, it was the Smiths, right? We all wanted to look like the Smiths and sound like the Smiths. And I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm gushing over Damon the way he's gushing over the Smiths.
That's cute.
Right? And okay, so I'm going to sound like an old lady right now, but for me, Damon Albarn is always Blur.
Yeah. No.
Right? Like, but I'm getting into Gorillaz now, more and more. But I saw this YouTube short came up, and it was Clint Eastwood, the song, and the little like blurb said, "How old were you when you realized these were the same voices?" And I knew it was going to come up, and sure enough, so it's Clint Eastwood for maybe like 10 seconds, then it's song 2.
Yeah.
And I felt 2 things. I felt cool because I knew.
I knew.
I'm like, I know Damon Albarn's from Blur. But I also felt old because I'm like, I don't think this short is for my age group. Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, the kids that are into Gorillaz, like, they wouldn't know Damon was in Blur. Like, how cool would that be? Like, you find out, you're like, oh, this guy was in like this really amazing band before this. Like, he's in 2 different bands. And I was thinking of Damon Albarn and the genre of music that we do and the time period. I can't think, Katie, of anyone else that has done what Damon has done. Being in these 2 huge bands and having like almost these separate identities in these 2 separate bands and being so successful commercially and critically in 2 bands.
Yeah.
Like, the only one I could think of is Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit with like obviously Nirvana and then the Foo Fighters.
But what's impressive with Damon is it's all the work because he has both bands simultaneously.
Oh, that's true.
Blur are still together.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Simultaneously. And they both sound like their own.
Yes. Totally different bands.
Like, I am just, I don't know, just fascinating. And this interview I watched, I'm like, oh my gosh, you are just fascinating. And apparently, I don't know if this is still true, but I read this that Damon Albarn does not have a mobile phone.
How do people get in touch with him?
I know. I'm like, I'm just a normal person and I need a phone. I'm like, how does Damon Albarn not have a phone?
How do you get in touch with management?
Yeah.
Do you email on your laptop?
I don't know. I just was like,
what? Oh, Damon, he's just an enigma.
He is. He really is. Like, it's just so incredible what he's done. And now I'm into Gorillaz. I'm really enjoying the album from 2023. I think it's Cracker Island.
It's interesting that you mentioned, Sarah, how it was considered Damon Albarn's side project. Yeah. Because, don't get mad at me, because I know you got mad at critics. When it came out, I remember thinking like, oh, this is cute, but it'll be a one album thing. It makes me think of, if there's any Blink-182 fans out there, Tom DeLonge with Boxcar Racer. It's like, okay, you had your little phase, you did your other band, but you're just going to go back to Blur. That's how I thought Gorillaz was going to be. But Damon, you proved me wrong.
Well, it's how you just described that, Katie, was exactly how these reviews were.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cutesy, but you're going to go back to Blur.
Yeah.
And
being
exactly,
the woohoo guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just remember I liked Gorillaz. Now, I liked all the singles. I didn't keep up because they do have tons of albums.
They
but
do.
I really liked it. I just thought it was really cool. Clint Eastwood.
I liked it, but I think I liked Clint Eastwood. I thought that was a really cool song. But I think just because it was so different, it just seemed like a very temporary side project.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And like I said, this was a really interesting time for a lot of these bands because, and thinking about Damon Albarn, Damon's been on my mind a lot this week with today's episode, but these Britpop bands, they were so cemented in that because Britpop was just so Britpop. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy that they were able to all kind of break out of that mold.
Yeah.
Because you had Kid A.
Yeah, that's right.
That did very well. Oasis, they did continue.
Yeah.
And like Be Here Now and Morning Glory, that could have locked them in.
Yeah.
But they moved on, Standing on the Shore of Giants.
Even Noel Gallagher and the High Flying Birds.
Yeah, that did
Liam
well.
had Beady Eye. That didn't do bad.
Yeah, that's true. So it's just, I think it's great because, you know, you think of like those sitcoms where they get so big and the character doesn't get any other work after the show.
Yeah, they're typecasted. Yeah.
And Blur, Oasis, Radiohead, I think these bands could have been.
Yep.
But I think that just shows what great musicians they were. Mm-hmm. And at this time, late 90s, early 2000s, it was a really interesting time for music.
It was.
Like, where are we going with all of this?
Yeah.
And maybe that was also kind of a commentary with Gorillaz. Like, here's really good music, but where are we going with this? Well, what is this?
In 2001, that was the year, Sarah, where everybody, and especially musicians already in the rock scene, were just sick of bubblegum pop.
Yeah.
Like Billy
was
Corgan, that's the whole reason he broke up the Smashing Pumpkins at that point. I mean, he took out a page in the one newspaper to say, like, we're done because we're just tired of Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys.
Oh, really?
And it was probably also frustrating for someone like Damon Albarn, where you were at the height of it, and then in the UK, it wasn't so much Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys. They were big there too, but it was also Atomic Kitten, Westlife,
those are
Boyzone.
Yeah.
So it's got to be hard as someone like Damon Albarn or Noel Gallagher being at the height of your fame with Park Life and What's the Story, Morning Glory, and really like good stuff. And then you see, you know, Westlife doing a cover of Uptown Girl and they hit number one. I don't know. It's interesting to put yourself in their shoes as a musician and think like that must have been really hard.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point because Damon mentioned that there was a point in the late 90s, it was Damon or Jamie or both, where they were like, you'd put on MTV and it was just so not great. Like, I don't want to say crap or anything, but there was a point where it was just, and we were kids taking in all of this stuff. And I remember at a point where it was like, it's just all the same.
Yeah.
And it just didn't feel like anything. And like you said, you had Park Life, Morning Glory. These feel like something.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that was Clint Eastwood in a way. Like it felt like something. Like, here I am. I'm going to try something new.
Yeah.
And they succeeded. And yeah, they proved everybody wrong. And
They
myself
did, which
too.
I think is
like,
really cool.
Did I think they were going to continue 20 years later and sell out stadiums? Like, I wouldn't have thought that either.
No.
On top of, like, 2 years ago, Blur do Wembley 2 nights.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just blown away with Damon. Like, and what he's done.
Yeah.
His musical career. And it's just because 2001 we were teenagers, so we were in it. We went home and we watched much music.
Yep.
We bought Enemy. So this was our time.
Yeah.
So to see all of this.
Yeah. I remember too, when I mentioned Napster, that just shows the time it was. I remember going to what was then Ryerson University. Now it's Toronto Metropolitan University. And I remember playing Dare. That album must have came out. Dare by Gorillaz.
Oh, was that Demon Days maybe? The next one?
I think that was the next one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember like on my big heavy iPod,
Nice.
I just listened to Dare like on repeat. I thought that was such a cool song. I remember walking around downtown Toronto at the time.
Demon Days was huge.
Yeah.
That was the second one.
Yeah. Well, Feel Good Inc., you mentioned that. That was probably one of their biggest singles.
Yes, that's from that. Yeah. Yeah. Just exploded.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, I listened to the later ones. I'll admit I haven't given a really thorough listen to their latest one, but the single Dictator or something. And yeah, I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like still continuing.
Yep.
Yeah, just kind of, well, I guess because we kind of grew up with Damon. Here we
Yeah.
are now. I mean, he's a bit older than us, but we're all just growing together with the
We're all
music.
growing older together.
Yeah. I don't know. Now I want to go see Gorillaz.
Oh, that would be awesome to see them live.
Yeah, like Damon Albarn.
And I would love to see the crowd.
yeah, like who's there? Like, is it younger? Would we be like the two old ladies sitting there with our beer?
No, because there's going to be all the people that grew up with Damon. We'll
Yeah.
probably be in the middle.
Yeah, we would be in the middle. Yeah, be
Yeah.
older and a bit younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool crowd for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were, when they first started, they would play behind like this blanket screen.
Is that how they did
and
it?
it was just the band. But I was watching, I don't know, they were playing like some Finland festival a couple years ago, and it's the band. So
Okay.
Damon's there, and I would want that. I'm like, I would want to see Damon's beautiful face
Yeah.
up there, right? So hopefully that's what they would do. But I know, I was like, I'm super intrigued. I think this would be really cool to see live, and I don't know if we'll ever get a chance to see Blur. So this would be a way to see Damon Albarn,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So with that, Katie and I really appreciate your time. Let us know in the comments, what do you think of Gorillaz? What do you think of their new album? Thoughts on Damon Albarn? Is he
your bae?
Is he your bae too, Damon? Girls Like Rock 2 podcasts. He is a bae for us, though.
He's a bae for everybody.
Yeah.
He's not hard on the eyes.
No,
And he's just
not.
smart and talented.
Yeah, he's just so great. Here we are gushing over Damon Albarn.
Yeah.
He's just been on my mind a lot with this episode. Katie and I really appreciate your time. We post a new episode every other Friday. The podcast is currently available on Spotify and YouTube.
And we just want to remind everybody that
Girls Like Rock too.
And don't forget to hit subscribe.